very sensitive, very burning, and even more controversial topic of the day, whether same-sex marriages should be permitted, allowed in a country like India. It has been taken in the notice of Supreme Court of India that same-sex marriages should be allowed or it should be taken into consideration. In the next step of that, right, if they are talking about their marriages, so whether it is justifiable in the country like India, which is well known for its culture and heritage. So in that respect, if Supreme Court is willing to give its own verdict, whereas the policies of the government are different, so in that respect, it is a very interesting topic and very informative topic. What is the youth of the country is willing to speak on that? It is your own personal view. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So I would like to hear some important and interesting point from your side. So Anurodh, you please start. One by one, I will call the student and you people are expected to be prepared on that.
Mr.
Yes.
Good evening, sir, and all the other members present over here.
Speak loud.
Talking about same-sex marriage should be legalized or not. It is a modern era as of now, and talking the characteristic of a modern era is it should be liberal, it should be rational, it should be all-encompassing. That is, it should give and respect each and every identity of a society. Therefore, it is important that we extend the horizons of marriages to same sex as well, because till now we were practicing heterosexual marriages, and as per 1955 Hindu Marriage Act, it has already permitted heterosexual marriage act. But the section 377 of IPC of 1860, which was legalized, that is decriminalized in 2018 by the Supreme Court. So this extended the horizons of same-sex orientation people, and they got more accepted into society.
It is more informative than the person. Please sit down. I appreciate the point that you have shared with us. Ganesh, you stand up. Here I would like to quote more information that your friend has stated. He quoted Hindu Marriage Act, and actually we know that India is not a country of single culture, single religion. So in that respect, how would like to extend his points? You please tell me.
Good evening, sir. Sir, according to the Indian marriage law, we know that
There is nothing like Indian marriage law. We have Hindu Marriage Act, Muslim calls or some other calls.
Sir, in India, the marriage is described as the union of a man and a woman, and not recognized as the homosexuality. Same-sex marriage is not legalized and even not recognized in through our constitution. And many of the thing is going to be deteriorated, because when same-sex marriage is going to legalize, many of the personal law is going to be changed, and it will be very difficult for some of the people to get used to of that. And many of the things, when same-sex marriage will be legalized, then it will be very difficult for our children to get a better looking after of that.
Okay, I agree with you. Here I would like to qualify one important thing. Again and again you are repeating the word many. Here just please explain one many, and then we are going to accept it. Yes, explain what is many. Many challenges, what is many? One challenge only.
Sir, that means when a children will be born, then a children need both the love of father and mother and the care also.
Sit down. So actually, it is a very interesting fact that you have talked beyond the natural boundary of the human being, that is in same sex how children born. So you didn't talk about it, but later you accepted it. So it may be the part of discussion and debate too. So here in this round, yes. What is your view in this? You are master of your group?
Yes.
What is your name?
Rahul.
Rahul. What is your view in this?
So actually, according to my view, same-sex marriage is not implemented and legalized in India, as we are following different personal laws in our country, and in our country the marriage is taken as a holy ritual.
Can you speak loud?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
In India, the marriage is taken as a holy rituals, and it is very difficult for the people of India to accept such type of things in our country. If the government is going to implement such type of things and legalize the same-sex marriage in India, then it is hard for the people as well as for the government, and keep extra burden over the law of our country to deal with the custodial as well as the adaptation matter. That is already our courtage are running shortage due to the heavy cases in our courtage. This also implement overburden on the courtage, as well as we see that there is some.
Okay, can you explain how the cases are going to be increased? One reason only.
Sir, yes. If we are talking about homosexual marriage, then if male guys are getting married, then there is also a case of who is the father of that adopted child and who is the mother of that
What is the
adopted
need
child.
of it? What is the need of it?
Sir, if a child is raised by a parent, then there is a need of love from the both mother and father side. If two male guys are getting married and if two girls are getting married under this.
Okay, LGBT is sufficient to explain it. LGBT we already explained.
Yes.
Okay.
So, sir, if we are talking about LGBTQ, currently what we see
No,
that
what is the challenge?
the challenges are very much similar that LGBTQs in our society are not so much highlighted and they are not even so much educated and
Okay, on the basis
knowledge.
of social reform you are talking about. Please sit down. You may have your own concern about it. Please sit down. It is one of the good thought about it. So decide. You are master.
Good evening, sir.
What is your name?
Sir, Abhijit Raj.
Abhijit. Yes. What is your view in this case?
Sir, from my point of view is that it should be legalized because, sir, as we all know that we are living in a democratic nation,
Yes.
and in the constitution we are having the fundamental right, and the Article 14 is clearly describing that right to equality. And the LGBTQ is also the part of our nation, so we also have to give give the equal rights as we are giving the proper citizens. As the LGBTQs have the sex marriage has been accepted by the already around 33 nations, and it is not from the recent time. It is following from the ancient period. And in the recent only, not recent, it is in 2018, the Supreme Court has decriminalized the IPC 300 section 377. So if they are having the legal right to make their relationship, so they can also make they can also choose their partners for the further life, sir.
Okay. Anybody else from this row? Yes. Aniket? Yes.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I personally think that yes, same-sex marriage should be legalized in India because Article 15
So
of the Indian.
actually, so there are certain if and buts while speaking the caption. So here I would like to just give my opinion that when you speak something about the caption, so I don't think that my personal experience is required because actually the topic never demands your personal experience. So that we can say that what I feel. There is nothing like my personal experience because I don't think that you people are going to be personalized with the caption. So there is nothing like personal experience. I feel मैं महसूस करता हूँ ऐसा. There is nothing like experience. We are not going to experience this phase. Yes, please carry on.
I feel that same-sex marriage should be legalized in India because Article 15 of the Indian Constitution said that there should be not any type of discrimination on the basis of gender or sex. And also the practice of sologamy is being followed in India, which means that an individual can marry himself or herself. So if there is not any problem in sologamy, then why there is any problem in same-sex marriage? And also right to marry any gender is a fundamental right in India, and but somehow it restricts, and right to marry is a fundamental right in India, but it restricts the human demography. And also in India there are so many challenges.
Okay, one thing that I am very impressed with your friend, listen. Demography or the population of country, when it is increasing with leaps and bounds, and policies of the government appears failure as we are democracy, and government cannot compel or implement any rule forcefully as government did in the period of Srimati Indira Gandhi, the then Prime Minister of the country, but actually it was not successful. Whereas in 2023, today is 21, on 20th of, what is it? April. 20th of April, United Nations Organization officially stated that India has already surpassed the population of the populous country of the world, China. So that this act, it means same-sex marriages somehow is going to restrict the population, and it also gives one benefit, those which are declared orphan means anath. Even they can be adopted by these couple as they are naturally not producing their child, and so that orphans are going to get some privileged house, and on that basis they can be groomed up and they can get all the amenities and facilities or the desires for which they took birth on this earth. So it is a good thing that your friend has stated whatsoever the words are, but the sense was like that only. Okay, this side. Yes, please. Sit down.
Good evening, sir. Sir, according to my point of view, I think that same-sex marriage should not be legalized because, sir, we are following our traditional culture from the ancient time, and
we are also having a societal value in our society, and if we are going to legalize the same-sex marriage, then definitely we are going to hurt the sentiments of the people of the society. Also, we can see that marriage is a holy rituals and it is for the procreation. And if there will be a same-sex marriage, then definitely the produced child will be not a biological children, and this will disturb the whole life cycle of the earth.
Now I would like to hear some basic important points from your leaders also, because actually they groom up the quality component of the category. So let's start with the team.
Good evening, sir.
What is your view?
As same-sex marriage is considered the union of the two consented and even interested people. And in that very community, sir, this is in news recently because of having the interest of legalizing their status of marriage. Even in the ancient times, we have seen in the Kama Sutra by Vatsyan, written in the 400 CE, 400 BCE, and even in the period of Arthashastra, the homosexuality has been described elaborately. So it is not the new thing to our nation. But in modern times, it has been seen that it has considered under Article 14, under Article 19, under Article 21, that considers their fundamental rights. So in representation of their fundamental right, their constitutional legalization should be necessary.
Okay, got it. Yes.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. As per the point of view of mine, the same-sex marriage should not be legalized, because as per the report of one of the report, it has been mentioned that the LGBT family which are having the gay couples or the lesbian couples, the child of there are not much productive as per the heterosexual couples. So in that very context, the child should be protected, and the productivity of any country depends on the youth. And in that very context, if the youth are not raised properly with their proper parental things, then in the large context, the development of the country somehow it may be hampered.
Very informative opinions have been shared by very good and joyful cadets. Here I would like to sum up my thoughts in that respect. As we all talk about rights of LGBT and marriages between the two, we should not forget certain parameters of the Constitution. As we know that Article 21 explains right of the life. Under that, there are many controversial privileges are there, like prostitution. Even prostitution is one of the oldest profession of the world, not about India. Though it is restricted in the country, because actually certain professions or such type of practices, it can diminish the identity of the social behavior of the country. So in that respect, if you are not permitting even the natural habits or the oldest profession of the country or world, so how could we envisage even the thing which is restricted to a few people of the population only, and even the privilege should be given as a right of fundamental rights? It is completely untrue. The next statement that I would like to share with you, that the first fundamental right of the Indian Constitution is right to equality. And you all will have to surprise that right to equality is the first fundamental right and foremost fundamental right of the Constitution, though India has not achieved it after passing 75 years of independence, though we are saying it is Amrit Kal of Indian Constitution. It means that there are certain privileges and rights which government announces as a fundamental rights, though it is not accepted by the society until or unless the society is volunteer to accept it. So how could we say that only counted figure of the country, if they demand certain things and if they are going to be accepted by the parliament or the Supreme Court, even it is going to be accepted by the society, and if it would be, then why right to equality is not being accepted? Why prostitution is not being legalized till now? There are certain if and buts which are still present in the society, and we just want to continue our debate with that a big question mark. If certain rights are still restricted to control the behavior pattern of Indian citizen, so on which basis